Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this beautiful live stream on the 10th of November. I'm not Perky. I'll be your host today, and I'm joined by the one and only Mott Raven. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Thanks for the very introduction. And as always, we've got Mott Spear, the man behind the buttons, and usually the figurehead playing a game. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, bud.
Good. I hope we're adjusting well to a second lockdown here in the UK. Good to see so many people in chat as well. And as many of you hopefully have read in the news post, we will be talking about construction contracts. We know construction isn't one of the most favoured skills by many of you, and we've been asked to rework the skill quite frequently as well. Although we've not reworked the skill, we have something that we're going to talk about today that should hopefully make construction more enjoyable as a skill, and also a little bit less tedious, I'd like to think, for some of you. We're talking, of course, about the new training method, construction contract, which is aimed at players between level 40 and 70, and it's coming to you on Monday. Could you give us a quick overview of what this training method is, Mott Raven, before we dive deeper into it and get into the nitty-gritty?
Sure. So we wanted to look at ways of changing kind of how construction feels, because at the moment it's very sort of isolated. You sit in your house and go, I will sit on this one square and I will make an endless stream of flatbacks. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. I hate my life. Ka-chunk. You know, that's kind of what construction is at the moment. And we wanted to tweak that. So we've not done a full rework. I mean, everyone is aware that construction is quite a massive skill, and there's a lot of interdependencies and stuff. And we didn't want to, with this launch to completely rework all of that, because that takes a long time. So we wanted to make something quicker in the long run that we could get out and people can enjoy. So Mod Ryan gets the credit for coming up with the idea. We looked at the idea of taking construction to the overworld. Now, we couldn't make it so that you can just plonk anything you liked and we wanted, but construction is all about repairing and building things up. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to take an approach where we can take the player's construction skill and use it in other places. So the player construction contract basically works like this. You go to an estate agent. The estate agent will give you a construction contract if you're between the ranges like 40 and 70. Well, 40 plus. A contract is basically some NPC in one of the areas we've mapped these things down needs some repairs made on their house. You go to their house. You have a number of objects that need repairing. So maybe it could be maybe you go to Bob's axes. Bob's needs his shelves repaired. He needs his bed repaired. He needs this table. He needs this cupboard, and he needs this light repaired.
Did he have an accident?
No. Please keep talking, Raven.
So yes, where was I before that? So he has a number of things that need repaired. So the player gets to go there and repair these things, and you'll have a choice. So you can either repair them using kind of basic materials, or you can repair them with more spangly materials. So you go all the way up to mahogany planks and whatnot. If you use basically you'll sit there and you'll whittle away at the thing you're repairing. If you're using more expensive materials, it goes faster and you get more XP. And then once you've done all of the things in your house, you get a nice big chunk of XP, and also you get construction credits. Yes. It got renamed and I keep forgetting. You can then go and get a new contract, rinse and repeat. So it becomes a new training method. So players are familiar with the idea of go ahead, do a thing, rinse, repeat, come back. But this should feel a bit more active, alive, and interesting. It stops you just sort of sitting at the desk and going ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. I hate my love ka-chunk, That's it in a weirdly described nutshell.
That is a very weird nutshell you're describing. I think the big difference that you're going to notice with this training method, because you're walking over Gielinor, like it is on the overworld, you're going to see kind of what you're doing. You will probably come across all the heroes and players that kind of just makes it feel more alive and takes you out of that slur, which I think is really cool.
It stops it being quite so isolated, because I think previously the player owned house, like very pretty, you can make something very nice, but it is very lonely. Whereas in the surface world, there's more people around. You can interact with people, see people walking by, and you can feel like you're part of the game world as well, because you're going around and making these people. I mean, it doesn't change huge amounts of dialogue, but if you go there and you speak to them, their lives improve. You can see you're making a difference to the game world and getting XP for it, which is always good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I am writing down questions, and we'll go over all of the ones that I wrote down in the end. I see a couple coming in. So we're trying to streamline it a bit more. We'll go through all the information first, and then if there are questions that we haven't answered, we will go and answer those. So expect some kind of information overload, I would say. Mutspear, can we jump to the in-game view? Because I believe we've set something up. There you go. Oh, we're not getting the view from above this time.
My controller's not working.
all right. We'll let you off for this one. I like how you've just quickly changed your outfit as well. It's good on you. So, like Raven already said, you can start a construction contract by speaking to an estate agent in Gielinor. If you walk over there, Mudspear, could you tell us what the next step is as soon as we've accepted a contract with Raven?
So you'll get a little contract item which will show you what you need to do and where you need to do it. And you literally need to go there, find the ghost locks, and repair them. It's quite familiar in terms of gameplay. It's very straightforward. It shouldn't be difficult. But you will need materials. And the materials you choose will determine kind of how much XP you get and how quickly you work as well. So it's a mixture of kind of increases the rate and also increases the general XP. So if you do, so how it works is you've got each individual thing that needs repairing. There's normally about 5 different things, and it is randomized. Some of the houses and places will look the same because there's only a certain limit of things you can map down. But each of the different contracts will be randomized. So every time you get, say, Bob, you will probably have different combinations of things to do. So it will always feel a little bit different. I mean, you will get repeats at some point because probability works like that, but hey. And completing each of these contracts, each of these individual pieces of furniture, you'll then get a big chunk of XP. That chunk of XP is modified based on the materials you've used to do it. So if you use, I think it's mahogany, you get a 10% boost, might be more. And for each time you do that, you'll get a general boost for the big thing at the end, but you can get it, it's based on all the ones you do. So if you look here, we've got, I didn't see what the contract said, but you've got your things that you can build. It's various shelves in this particular example. So as you can see, you've got these different 4 options, and it's all based on largely this sort of type of plank that you choose to use. And the planks are level banded. They're not level banded in quite the same way as normal. We've made it 40, 50, 60, 70. I forgot a number. Like I said, if you choose higher materials, you'll go slightly faster and you'll get more XP for doing it. And it will modify your sort of contract XP at the end of it. So you can see you're in an existing NPC's house. You've got all these lovely beds or ghost locks that you can build up. You can see all the things you need to do. I believe if you go and talk to the person as well, they'll tell you some information about the contracts. In this case, it should be the shopkeeper.
Just
you can ask about contract.
Players are asking if you can pause your double XP time, even though it doesn't count. I think players will appreciate it if you can just pause it to not trigger people's OCD.
Yeah, so you can get a general sense of kind of things you need. So you can ask about the individual items you need repairing, which you do have in the contract there. But you can also get like totals of materials needed if you talk to them as well. So like, hey, you need,
awesome.
if this is for everything, it tells you all the things you need to do. So you can break it down individual one, but it'll give you the whole contract if you want to kind of set things up for it or something.
That's a lot.
And
God, I'd
whether
write
you can
that
fit it
all
all in inventory. Yeah, so go get yourself some planks, some nails, some cloth.
Mm-hmm. Look at that man going off to the bank.
Yeah, so if I'd take a few normal planks and then take some. Do you have? I can't see what planks you've got.
I've only got teak and mahogany, I think. No, I've got some oak.
Okay, give yourself some
That's
oak to show some the variant, and give yourself mahogany to show the difference in between it. You'll also need some nails.
Yep, just realised that. One cloth. Now the question is, do I have a candle anywhere? I do not. That's
onto the general store it is.
We've modified how many candles you can buy, I believe. This isn't a job I did. I think one of the other lovely devs did this, but we've increased the amount of candles you can buy.
Yeah, it's got to be Caribbean, hasn't it?
I think so. I think that's why I bought my candles last time.
I'm just saying again, you're on a JMod test account. You could just give yourself a candle.
Oh yeah.
You could
this
use,
man playing
you
with
could
it.
use
No,
JMod with and
we
just
are
cheat
here
your way
for the story.
I'm not one of these fancy, clever game devs. I'm the stream guy. I don't know these things.
We're showing off how it works,
so,
right,
yeah,
Raven?
The
players don't have access to this.
Yeah, so we've increased the amount of candles.
You need to get 4 candles, apparently, so you might want to get one more quickly.
It says 1. The list said 1 specifically.
Players are saying
I see
4
candles.
Yeah, it's 4 candles for the joke.
It's an old skit.
That classic skit, which we still get bug reports about. Just saying. So yeah, if you click on that one, so build this one using the basic materials. With the oak in this case, so you can get a good sense of it. Yeah. So if you build this, so you see you've got this timer that goes across your head. So it continues that construction. You've got a bit of time to wait to do this, that, and the other. So it goes up, and you click away. You can talk to your mates. Yeah, you've got your little task there. So it's showing you all the things you've got to do. You've stuck it in the worst possible place, so you can't quite see it. Well done. There you go.
Ugh, I like it.
And ping. So you see, I mean, you probably missed it, but you get a bunch of XP, and you see it's ticked off that on the thing. So if you now go upstairs, where the next lot were.
No, it's one in here first.
Or just do that. That'll work. Yeah. And build it using the more expensive stuff, so you can see it's going quicker.
Nice.
Yeah. So you have the more expensive the materials you use, the faster it goes, and the more XP you get. So it's generally worth using the more expensive. If you've got the lower level ones, you can still train and get some decent rate of it. I don't quite know what you're doing.
Neither do I.
Just
something.
That the nails did not go through the wall.
I think I was about to go and attack a guard out back using a chisel, which would have been interesting to see.
Yeah, so this is the one you'll need the bolt of cloth for.
Cool. So the real advantage of using the better materials is you get slightly more XP, but it's also quicker. So you're going to hit this big reward at the bottom, the 10,000 XP reward faster.
So keep an eye on that, the XP reward, when you actually get awarded it, because like I said, using the better materials will also give a bonus to that reward as well, and it will give a bonus to the credits that you get. So the better materials basically is the equivalent of you're doing a better job, and so you will be given better credit towards that job. You'll always get at least, I think it's between 1 and 5 credits. You always get at least 1 credit. But if you do it all with the more expensive materials, you'll get more credits. and more XP, and it'll be faster.
Mm-hmm. There you go. It's one more item left. Oh, beautiful surge into the window, though.
Yeah,
or into the door.
Still need some nails.
You're even getting compliments for that surge there.
That was pretty crisp. Right, chair. Now, I'm about to build this man a chair, which is going to look much nicer than his other two.
I mean, it will look the same because we need to maintain a similar aesthetic.
Oh yeah. Oh, and clearly he's just rich, and all his furniture's mahogany.
So yeah, did you notice the XP that went up? You will have gotten more. I didn't see the actual number. That would have been useful. But yeah, so you see you get more, and your contract is over. So now just go and find yourself a new dude.
A new dude.
Yeah. Is there any estate agent work?
Any estate agent will do. Any of them.
Let's go. There's one in Prif, isn't there? I'm being insane. Anchor maker.
Well, Raven, am I correct to say that there are about 11 different locations for the contracts right now, and that each of those locations slightly vary each time you do them, so they will never be exactly the same?
Yeah, you'll get different furniture needs building each time. You'll also not get the same contract twice in a row. So you shouldn't be repeating the same things. There's also some contracts that are locked behind certain requirements. I think actually it's only one contract. So if you one of the contracts requires you to have done Desperate Times. Okay, who have you got? You've got Lumbridge.
And lying there.
I mean, you've cut off the top of it.
It says Lumbridge, shopkeeper.
Yeah, I was just doing the name. It's shopkeeper and Lumbridge.
Yeah, on that one I can make slightly bigger. There we go. Doesn't completely ruin my UI.
Explode into Ravens. Good choice.
When in Prif.
You just wanted to flex so you could go to Prif, and it wasn't it?
A little bit. Nah. I think that's going to be the one I probably end up using.
I know you.
I swing by. I play a house there most days. Cool.
Yeah, so see again, you've got various different things. So it gives you the same information.
Yep, lots of planks, lots of steel, one bottle cloth.
Which you've resolved by having a few planks, some nails, and lots of bolts of cloth. Just in case you need to polish them.
Right there, it's fine.
Someone is asking in chat. We'll get to the other questions in due time as well. Is this like mahogany homes from old school? So before the show, we talked briefly about this, and you kind of said that like kind of both ideas happened separate from each other, but somewhat had some similarities.
So Mod Ryan, he's the one who came up with the brainchild of contracts, and it came up independently of old school. I just think people had similar ideas. That's what it boils down to. There are some differences, obviously, largely in terms of tweaks, and some of the rewards are different as well, which I imagine we'll get to in a bit.
Absolutely.
But and also some of the houses and things are different as well. So, it's from what I understand, it's entirely independently and just what's the word of a coincidence, really. But it's good that the similar ideas, and because of course there was some little bits of bouncing back and forth, I think, between the two. But it's a good idea. I mean, it's a good solid plan. It brings it into the overworld. It gives you a way of trading that's a little less repetitive. I realise it's not exactly Twitch-based gameplay, but it is. It's on the overworld. It's varied. It's a bit more. There's a bit more to be able to do and see interact with than there is in repeating the same thing in player and house, and it's also a little bit cheaper. You generally so the rate of XP in your player and house is going to be higher. I'm not going to pretend otherwise, but the cost of this is better in the long run. So you're getting a better sort of XP per GP doing this than you would do, but you're going at a bit of a slower rate. But we're treating this as a your general. I want to sort of train up, but not necessarily must get these numbers super duper fast. So you might want to do sort of construction for like double XP in your player and house, because of course that's when you get the fastest rate of XP. But also when you're spending the most money possible. Whereas for your general training, quite often you want to weigh up the cost versus the return and the rate. So this should be good for those people who maybe don't have billions in the bank but would still like to level up their construction. Thank you very much. So it should make that nice kind of balance. Why did you go back to Elf City to finish it off? Oh, you've already done it.
Yeah, already finished. I'm going to the next one.
He's on the chest.
Yeah, so just doing the math roughly in my head, you're still getting the same XP roughly you would per plank, and then you're also getting the bonus on top. So in terms of XP to material, it's strictly much better.
Yeah. You're trading off kind of the speed and stuff at which you work with it.
Yeah, but actually, this doesn't feel
per hour. It's still
slow.
better to do normal construction, but it is cheaper and still has a good feel to it this time around.
Exactly. Like you're roaming around and you're doing it. Sorry, go for it.
The one question that keeps coming up is: do proteans work, and do they count as mahogany or whichever? I guess whichever option you select would count as.
I'd say if I remember rightly, proteans do work, and they count as the highest available to you.
Yes.
I think I've got some in the bank actually. We could test this.
Well, that's one less question for me to ask in the Q&A section. Thank you for that.
I mainly asked because I want to know.
No, this is not how it works. I think so. We briefly already talked about the construction credits, and there's a whole reward shop with construction contracts as well. And one of the things that we are going to do different this time around is at the time of release of construction contract, which is going to be this Monday, we will also have a treasure mission that introduces the master construction outfit. And where we in the past have said we would wait 6 months before we then also add like a method of gaining it in game, the master construction outfit will be unlockable using construction credits at the same time of release.
Yep.
I now hear a lot of things in chat about master construction outfit. What are the bonuses of that? So could you tell a little bit about what that outfit will do, and then we'll also ask Spear if you can equip the outfit.
Yes, that would require me to remember exactly what the outfit does.
I'll help you.
So I've got the thing open. Full disclosure, my fantastic team did this whilst I was very sneakily on holiday. So I'm trying to remember things from it. So the master construction outfit, the full set, I'll just go through the full set here. You'll gain the option to automatically remove furniture immediately after building it. So if you're doing in your player and house, rapidly doing the same thing, you can go boom, destroy, boom, destroy, boom, destroy. It'll make life a little bit less click intensive. You'll gain the ability to convert logs to planks on the go, still for a cost, but the equivalent of casting a spell. You'll be able to gain a temporary +3 boost to construction, which should help with all the various bits and bobs. It increases the build progress speed for construction contracts. You'll be able to go through them faster. You'll have a chance to instantly finish those repairs, and you'll gain unlimited teleports to your house, house portals, estate agents, and your current construction contract. So it's pretty nice. I've lost, which is the camera. Right.
There you go. We can see it in use as well now. He's on his way.
I like it.
It's right there now. Which is quite nice, and it's different from what we usually do. So it's coming to Treasure Hunter and in game via construction credits at the same time.
Yeah,
and that's not the only use. Yeah, exactly. That's not the only use for construction credits. You can also buy a plank box. Can you tell us a bit more about the functionalities of that while we are looking at what spear using the master fit?
Yep, I mean the plank box is relatively self-explanatory. It is a box in which you can store your planks. So if we look at the inventory currently now, you can see you've got all of these planks taking up all of this space. And that's quite a lot of space. That's back and forthing to the bank relatively regularly. With the plank box, what you can do is you can store a certain number of planks in your plank box. So I believe it starts, the basic level is 25 planks.
Yes.
Might be of each type, I can't remember.
Each type.
Yep. And then you can improve that as you keep playing through, so you can get bigger and better spanglier. So I think it goes all the way up to, I think it's 100 planks of each type. So that saves you quite a lot of space, and thusly, of course, saving you space is also that's increased rate of XP as well. So it's a really good trade-off. So it should be very, very shiny, and this will work anyway. You can use blanks. It'll of course take it straight from the blank box.
Yes, I mean I think it was just like if Multispear would have had the blank box on him right now, it would have been really useful. Because I think you had to go back once to the bank to pick up more planks to finish it off. And I just got a message from JD on the side as well, who is asking me to specifically state that the plank box won't be on Treasure Hunt. It's just the construction, the master construction outfit.
Yeah.
Just like all the other Master Elite skilling outfits. Just to clear up any potential confusion.
Yeah. Box is only available from the game.
Ooh.
I want those are the outfit makes it so nice and easy to do. I even forgot to teleport back to the estate agent because I was being a pillock.
Well, I mean, at the rate you're doing right now, can you have a quick glance how many construction credits you have right now, Multispear?
Yeah, bear with me a second. I assume they're in here somewhere. Oh, there we go. 14 so far.
So you've already got 14. One thing we did not talk about is where the shop is and how you can access the shop. So we can just have a quick glance at the shop as well in a second once you complete this contract, which you do by talking to the estate agent.
I can't leave Ned in the dark here. That's just rude.
I mean, he's been able to cope for the last 20 years without having his house fixed up. So I would like to think it could be a bit longer.
That's been some sort of spate of furniture-related accidents, hasn't there? Something's gone horribly wrong. Between me doing the shopkeeper in Edgeville and then coming back, all the rest of his furniture broke.
Yeah, I mean the fun one is one of the NPCs, of course, you got contracts for is the Wise Old Man, and as far as we can tell, the Wise Old Man is basically just bookcases. It's bookcases holding up more bookcases. So when I mentioned there's variety, this is true, and it will randomly choose them. But the Wise Old Man's house is still mostly bookcases, so he will largely, if you have him, be doing bookcases. So just fair knowledge, it's his fault.
He should just have less bookcases in his house, I guess.
Where's this bench outside?
Outside, just at that door.
Oh, I literally have no planks. Hang on.
If only you had that amazing plank box with you.
I know.
Or if only you have the JMod powers to magically give you something. Not that we have that.
So I've got about 13
nice.
different questions, and I really like all of those. So we'll get through those in a second as well once we've had a glance at the shop.
Cool, right. So where is the shop?
So we've also added just worth being aware. We've also added the estate agent to the NPC contact spell. Mod Ramen very kindly plugged that in for us.
Mhm.
Where's the shop?
Any of the estate agents you can speak to.
Oh, okay.
So pick your shop, or pick your estate agent, I should say. There you go. So this is your shop.
So you can see your plank box on the left for 50 credits, or 10 really good contracts. We'll get you that. So if you want to sort of dive in with your loads of mahogany, that is you'll get a ton of XP for it, and that is a really good way to get your plank box quickly, which will make the rest of your contract life so much easier. Obviously, we're looking for long term in this, so it'll take you a while to get all of these things. And the master construction outfit is obviously going to take a bit of time to get, but you can still just earn it. As you train, you'll get these things, and you'll get more and more of them, and you'll be able to unlock the outfit.
I mean, I feel like you should be able to unlock these rewards relatively quick, given at the speed that you're already going right now, Multspear.
I mean, yeah, I've done 4.
It'll take some time.
I've already got 19 credits.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, like,
I'm actually quite enjoying it. It's quite nice, kind of.
So it is intended as a long-term trading method, so the rewards count for that.
Yeah.
You'll not get everything instantly. There's only one thing on the comp cape. I may be jumping ahead from whatever you had your plan to script.
You are, but go for it. I won't stop you.
Yeah, there are. I think it's 8 achievements in this, and the one that you need for your comp cape is to get all the upgrades for the plank box,
which is called an absolute planker.
Yes.
So just and it goes on your comp cape. So
that's full credit to Modshrew for that one. You came up with that dreadful pun. I mean, great pun.
So before we jump into questions, well, I've had kind of one more question, which is more of a general question. How does construction contracts benefit the overall experience with construction, you'd say?
So it reduces the repetitive nature, and which I realize is daft because, like I said, this isn't exactly Twitch gaming. But what you're doing is here, it's a bit less repetitive. You're going to new places. You're going to, I mean, it keeps giving you the same one every couple of contracts, which is a bit weird, but never mind.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you the same one. But it seems this guy's struggling, and it doesn't normally do this, but never mind. It is, of course, doing this now on the stream. It is pure random chance, but you won't get the same one in a row. So, it's a bit more variety to it. It's also in the overworld, so you'll walk past other players, interact with other players. There's a good chance you'll see other players doing the method training as well. So you can get some more social gaming going in. You can talk to people. You can ask them, did they see, the ludicrous display last night about football or whatever sport exists. I mean, I realise very little sport exists at the moment, but I hear of it in stories. Or you can, tell them jokes and whatever, or just sit there making beep beep noises, whatever floats your boat. And this makes it just that sort of a little bit more social, a little bit more interesting. It should be able to break up that construction training a bit. It's also because it's generally cheaper to do it this way, which means it'll help you do your construction without sitting there weeping as you have to sell all of your belongings in order to make a shiny chair. So yeah, it should generally improve things a bit. It should make it feel a bit more varied, a bit more interesting. And once you get the outfits and the plank boxes, it should make life much more generally convenient. Because of course, the plank box and indeed the outfit, they help with the other method as well. So if you decide, if you do construction contracts for a bit to kind of psych yourself up for training your construction, and then you will get to maybe double XP or something, and you go, right, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to sit in this room and I'm going to make 1,000,000 chairs. You can go to your player in house and you can do that kind of quick going through, making everything as quickly as you possibly can, and the outfit will help towards that, and you can bring your the plank box rather than just go, butler! which will speed you through things quicker. So it should generally be a nicer experience for construction in general.
Cool. I'm trying to copy a question from chat, but I'm struggling right now, and we'll jump into the QA after straight away. There you go. I've got the question now. I've got 10 or so-ish. Some we've already answered, some we haven't. Can you get the construction pet using this new construction contracts method?
I think so. I don't think we did anything to stop you getting it, so I think you can. I don't 100% know. Like I said, I very foolishly took a long holiday in the middle of all this, so some of it is based on my lack of memory, but I think you can.
Cool. All right. We know that the absolute planker achievement is going to be part of the comp requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be a grace period for this achievement?
I actually don't know. I would need to poke. Tweet Modshrew. Modshrew knows the achievements better, and they can he can give you an answer to that. So yeah, tweet JagXShrew.
We should be able to actually see that in
oh yes, there you go. We'll just do it that way around.
It doesn't, as far as I'm aware.
Okay, no, it does not.
Or does it? It does not have a grace period.
No.
Is there a limit to how many construction contracts you can do on a day? Ask Donna06.
Nope. You can make as many as you want. It's designed to be a training method, so it's not designed. It's not a mini game, and it's not a distraction diversion. It's a training method, so you can do this not ad infinitum. Well, as much as you have time for, but remember to take breaks, eat, and hydrate. Although since we're all trapped inside, go to town. Well, no, don't actually go to town. Go to town doing construction contracts. Don't leave your house. Stay inside.
Stay in other people's houses fixing things.
No, don't go in other people's houses. Only go in other people's houses if they're digital.
Okay, next one. Can you use flat packs to repair?
Not construction contracts, no. I don't think so.
Okay. Can you get strange or golden rocks from construction contracts? Ask G_hump.
Should be able to, unless you have them turned off.
Just like the pet, it should work.
Yeah. There's every chance that one of my guys tweaked it because they wanted to make it more streamlined. Because of course rocks can interrupt as much as they can help. But as far as I know, you should work with it.
Cool. This is more of a bit of a subjective question, but because construction contract is aimed at players from level 40 to 70, is there a use for construction contracts if you're let's say above level 75 construction?
I mean, it still works, and you still get good rates of XP from it, and it's cheaper. So again, yeah, it falls into that kind of thing. Because if you're above level 70 and you've got all the mahogany planks, perhaps you've got an entire bank full of mahogany planks because you went insane and decided to destroy all the mahogany trees. Now you can use those planks and you can sit here and train. And like I said, it'll be cheaper in the long run. So if you want to get XP at super duper quick, then you still want to do your player in house. But if you're okay to XP cheaper but a little bit slower, and not massively but a little bit slower, then you'll want to go with construction contracts because it'll be cheaper and it'll be a little less repetitive.
Okay,
it should be a good experience.
Yes, we briefly mentioned this already, but aside from the one that you mentioned that had a desperate times or desperate measures requirement, are there any of the other contracts in quest locked or requirement locked areas?
Not on launch, no. So we built the system so that more could be added in the future potentially. So there's a system built in for allowing quest, specific ones, which could give you better rates of XP, etc. But on launch, there's only one of them that's quest locked. So if you haven't done Desperate Times, there's 10. If you've done Desperate Times, there's 11. That's why it's the odd number.
Thanks for talking about how it would work in the future, because the way you phrased it, it sounded as if there were already very concrete plans to add to it in the future.
I I want to step in there and just kind of say there aren't any definite plans, because that's always a danger of people getting. We wanted to build a system so that we could.
Yes. Yeah. Will the construction cape inherit the teleport to the house, or teleport to the contract as well?
I don't know. I'm afraid. This is I don't think.
I found a very clever question.
But I could well be wrong.
Tweet that at JegXShrew, and he will hopefully get back to you tomorrow. He should be able to get back to you tomorrow. Will construction credits be tradable?
No.
Mm-hmm. I like how we're going at a rapid pace for these questions. I find this a quite good question, actually, from Dominus Juris. Is the auto removal of build furniture chance-based, or is it always as a perk on the master construction outfit?
My understanding is the auto removal is always. It's a toggle.
That's correct.
So you would have to set it going. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing,
there you go.
You toggle it and then
movement on. Cool. Tell you what, let's go come to the house and show that in action.
You do that once, Bear. We'll fire off the other 4 questions. Are you able to have more than one contract at once?
No, you only have one contract at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't, currently, you can't abandon a contract to try and get a more favourable one. So we deliberately didn't want to make it so that you just go, well, I'll just sell all my contracts to the same house and sit there forever going slowly insane. We wanted to make it so, because the whole point of contracts is to get, moving, exploring, using the game world. So there's no way to choose your contract currently or reset your current contract. It's possible reward space in the future, sure, but we didn't want to launch with it.
Cool, very understandable. The various nails, do they have any impact on the speed at which you will build?
Sorry, say that again?
The nails that you will sometimes have to use in the construction of the items as well, will they have any impact on the speed at which you will complete the objects?
No, nails we kept all to the same. We focused largely on the planks being the thing. So you're not having to run back and forth and rethink and rejiggle and whatnot. So it's the planks as the one you largely will be affect the thing.
Cool. Flame and Frost asking, we've already.
This is excellent.
This
is where the workbenches are.
I'm glad you like it.
Build. Eat.
Well, imagine if you also bring your plank box with you. That should make it a bit quicker as well, which is quite nice. Anyways, Flame and Frost asked, and we've already confirmed this, can we use the Lunar spell NPC contact to receive new contracts?
You can.
Nice.
You can talk to the estate agent by that, yeah.
And then the last question that I wrote down from chat, so if there's any other that we've not answered, please put it in chat right now so we can pick those up as well. Will there be a use for the tokens after buying all the rewards? And if not, will we automatically stop receiving new credits?
So on launch, no, because it'll take long enough to get all of those things. We may look in future at doing things. You'll stop once you reach a maximum, but we'll see how things take off. I'm not going to commit to anything because I do not have that power. But I suspect if it proves popular and people enjoy doing it, then we might look at using it as a consumable reward space in future. So yeah, no promises, but we likely might do something with it. Likely might do something. That is the worst sentence I could have used.
It's all right. Another one that I see quite frequently in chat is, will the butler be able to fill your plank box?
I think he does. At the very least, he'll give you the planks, which you can then put in your plank box. But I think he puts them in your plank box. That sounds faintly dodgy. Cool. But yeah, that's one of those. I didn't make the plank box, so I don't remember exactly.
These are the very specific cases, right? So
yeah, we're getting into the nitty gritty, and like I said, I very rudely took a holiday in the middle of this, and my lovely team filled in Mod Shrew, Mod Ramen, Mod Ryan. They all got together and they did some absolutely fantastic stuff whilst I was lounging back playing video games. So I don't know the specifics of some things. So I know the general thing, but certain specifics might have been when I was away.
Yes. Questions are still coming in, so I'll just ask a few more. Will you get like a bonus amount of construction credits for completing like various amounts, such as like 5, 10, 20 contracts, or will it just be the achievement you will get?
It's just the achievement at this point, yeah.
Cool.
Because it's a training method rather than a kind of mini game.
Yes. FIFA Kirito asks, will there be any catch-up mechanics for players that are already maxed and want to get the outfit or just the plank box?
No, there are no catch-up mechanics.
Fair. And this is a question from future MacGyvers I will happily answer. Can we get a contract house or a construction contract in the Wildy for personal purposes? No. There won't be one in the wilderness, and I don't think
who lives in the
would do
wilderness
that either.
I would love to put contracts in really awkward places, but that's because I'm a terrible human being. But at this point in time, no. We might do in future, and if that's the sort of thing that people want, kind of risky contracts, then suggest it. We'll see, but yeah, no, not certainly not on launch. Don't worry, we're not putting you anywhere dangerous.
So, I've seen this question chat, but from me, Mod Raven. You do a lot with the Raven Sworn, and that kind of stuff. Is there, because you've worked on this? Are we gonna see something related to that as part of construction contracts as well?
Not this time. No. We didn't want to put any kind of hidden Raven Sworn achievements or anything like that in it. So you're safe. You're safe from my ego for this one. Don't worry.
Cool. I do like the theorizing about like getting construction contracts in the wilderness and such right now.
Like I said, suggest it. If it's a thing that people really want, we might consider it. But like I said, it's safe for now.
Yeah, there's one question that I see quite a bit in chat, whether we can make the chisel one-handed instead of two-handed, so that we can also have like a skilling off-hand at the same time.
Maybe
there are no plans to do that, and bladed dive. As far as I'm aware, no plans to do so right now, but I will happily pass this on to the team, and they can have a discussion around it. I see a couple of people being disappointed there's no Ravensworn achievements as well, Raven. And I think
it feels the chisel should be an offhand and the hammer should be a main hand, and then you can still use bladed dive. It wouldn't work for the skilling offhand, so that would make more sense to me because you have to. The chisel is left hand normally.
Oh, there's one more question, and I'll slowly go towards the outros. Will there be a seasonal high score kind of thing for who has completed the most contracts?
We haven't launched with that. If it's a thing that people want to, again, suggest it. If it's a thing that people really are interested in, enough people are really interested in, then it might be a sort of high score that we look at. It didn't strike us as something that people would want to race against, although in hindsight, that was foolish of us to think that they wouldn't want to race, because of course they would want to race. Yeah, suggest it. We won't be launching with it, but it's something that we might look at for future.
Cool. Thank you very much. Then the other big question that I've kind of kindly left out and not really spoke about up till now is people are asking about Premier Club, and I would say it's coming sooner rather than later. So definitely keep an eye out on the next couple of news posts that are coming out. So that is going to be good as well. So we've got that. There's a bit of tease there for you. Of course, double XP is live at the moment, so if you are not gaining XP yet, make sure to use those double XP gains to train your favorite skills. It also includes archaeology. almost everything is double XP wise for archaeology, except completing research, completing an artifact, or restoring an artifact, and a couple of these other things. But they make up for that you will find artifacts much quicker and such, which is quite nice. On that note, in about 9 minutes, or I'll try to do it in about 9 minutes, I will go to World 10 Lumbridge Market, and I'll do a quick Valentine Slam as well, which should give you another 2% boost as well in your double XP gains. So it's like it stacks up quite nicely. So if you want to get that, make sure you move over to World 10 Lumbridge Market, and I will be there shortly after this stream ends. And the last but not very least thing that I have to talk about is that Twitch Prime Gaming has just switched over. So if you've got your Twitch Prime, make sure to claim the thingy, and you will get 7 days of free membership, which you will happily, nicely tag along at the end of your existing membership, which is quite nice. Just to repeat it, World 10 Lumbridge Market, which previously was known as the Combat Academy. And yes, that means we will be thrashing the people that are currently skilling there a little bit by giving them some stroke offers and such as well, probably. But that's fine. Let me check. Yeah, World 10 Lumbridge Portable Sports, kind of whatever you want to call it. Can you just quickly teleport there just to show where we're going, Woldspear? To clear up any confusion. And then with that, I think there rests me nothing than thank both of you for being on the live stream. Thank you for showcasing Woldspear, and thank you for telling us everything about construction contracts, Bot Raven. It was a pleasure.
I am
pretty good job.
Slightly gutted I can't now go and play this because I want to get started on it. I'm enjoying this.
I'll have to wait until.
Well, yeah, all the progress you've made.
21 hours of double XP to.
There you go.
Yeah, I have to start from scratch.
Is
that's fine. I'm going to go
market.
make thousands of nails.
Yeah, thank you very much. So just to repeat it, this is coming to your game on Monday. Very excited. So you can do it straight away on double XP. It will also work with double XP, so you will get double the XP just like all the other construction methods. So it's quite nice. It won't double your credits you will receive. Just putting that out there if you thought it could. You do your herb lore. You make some potions on your.
I've got my portable. I'm good. I've got my well.
It ends on Monday. Oh, sorry. Yes, it does end on Monday. That's actually correct. No, I'm sorry there. Yeah, no, you're right. I thought you had like a couple of days. No, that's fine. That's my fault. So it does indeed stop. So no double XP gains for your construction contract. My fault there. But it gives you a nice challenge to get that plank box and everything else. So apologies for the confusion on my part there. Before I make any further mistakes.
So it means after spending all of your money.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can just grind the logs and make them into planks and do it all yourself, I guess. Before I make any further mistakes, I think we're going to call the live stream here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Look after yourselves, and tot ziens.
Catch you later.